Without God, life has no meaning.
How's that?
Without God, there is no purpose to anything that you or I do. You may feel you are doing something useful, but really it has no higher purpose.
Oh, okay. How does God help with that?
If you are doing what God tells you to do, then your life has meaning.
What's the meaning?
The meaning is that you are doing what God tells you to do, fulfilling your purpose.
But what's the higher purpose of doing what God tells you?
There is no higher purpose.
I thought you said that God gives life a higher purpose.
The ultimate purpose of life is serving God.
What ultimate purpose does God serve?
God doesn't have an ultimate purpose.
So God's existence is not meaningful?
That's right. No, God is his own meaning.
That's kind of confusing. How do you mean?
God can provide his own meaning. He does not need a purpose.
If God has meaning without higher purpose, can't my life have meaning without a higher purpose?
No, only God is like that.
How do you know only God is like that?
If God wasn't like that, then he would also need a higher purpose. And then that purpose would need a higher purpose, and there would be no end to it then. So we have to stop somewhere. So we stop with God.
But we can't stop before we get to God?
That's right.
But how do you know there is a God?
Because without God, life would be meaningless.
How do you know life isn't meaningless?
I feel that life has meaning.
If you already feel that life has meaning, then what does God do for you?
God explains why life has meaning.
So, you need a meaningless God to explain why your life has meaning?
Yes. No. God is not meaningless. God just does not have meaning.
That's different?
That's right.
So, to be clear, if I feel my life has meaning because I do things to help people or improve the world, that's not meaningful?
That's right. If you don't believe in God, there is no meaning to your life.
But if I do exactly the same things because a God who has no meaning commands me to, that makes my life meaningful?
That's right.
But what if I don't like God's commands?
That doesn't matter. You have to do them anyway.
Why should I?
If you don't, you will be punished more horribly than you could possibly even imagine.
So I should do God's commands because I'm afraid of being punished?
That's right. If you do what God tells you, you do not need to fear God.
Spending my life trying to score points with a meaningless God to avoid punishment doesn't feel very meaningful to me.
It doesn't matter if it feels meaningful.
It doesn't? But didn't you say that you feel life is meaningful and that's why there must be a God?
That's right.
So your feeling about what's meaningful is right, and my feeling about what's meaningful is just wrong?
That's right. Because my feeling is mine, and your feeling is just yours.
Well, you do seem very sure of yourself.
That's right.